guys, welcome back to Ron's Rides. Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to another video where the first time in 8 months you have a brand new Alfa Romeo Giulia Quadrifoglio here on the Ron's Rides channel. Yes, this is the first 2021 that has made it here on the channel. These are so hard to come by, guys. It's almost August, so we went 8 months without a brand new Giulia Quadrifoglio on the channel. And here's the kicker. You can't get this specific spec in 2022. So this spec right here is a 2021 spec, because if you guys have been following me in the previous videos about the 2022 model Alfa Romeos, well, they've changed up a lot of things. And for the 2022 model year, you can't get this exact same spec. And we will go over that in this video here today. But for now, let's just enjoy this beast. Now guys, before we get started, make sure if you haven't already subscribed to the channel, it's free to you. Make sure you guys like it, it's free to you. It just helps me get up in the rankings and I can do more Maserati, Alfa Romeo, and Ferrari videos for you guys on the channel. So I appreciate the support. We got to get this up in the rankings. We got to get up there with the Stradman and Daily Driven Exotics and Supercar Blondie and Shmee and Supercars of London, everybody up there in the automotive industry. So make sure you guys do that for me. And huge shout out to Shane Kelly, all right? He was the one who hooked me up with this 2021 Giulia Quadrifoglio here at Alfa Romeo Orlando. I'll leave his contact information down below for you guys so you can check him out and inquire on this if you're trying to get one, because you don't see too many here in Orlando or in the Daytona area. So since they're so few and far in between, you're definitely going to want to get your hands on one of these as soon as possible. Let's talk about this beautiful 2021 Giulia Quadrifoglio. Man, the Florida sun is really showing out today in this Misano blue metallic paint. Now keep in mind, for 2022, only on the Veloce, which is the TI Sport, and the Quadrifoglios can you get this Misano blue paint. In 2022, you cannot get this paint on the Sprint or TI. That's new for 2022. But with that said, it's gonna carry over to the Quadrifoglios for 2022. So if you want that, you're still good. Now, with that color, we do have the 5-hole wheels. All right, this is a classic wheel, and this will be staying on the Giulia Quadrifoglio for 2022, but you cannot get the bright 5-hole wheels as you've been able to before. So these are the only 5-hole wheels you can get for the 2022 models. For 2021, it's all up to you. Brembo brakes, drilled rotors, and yellow calipers with black script. All right, so with that said, this is just an ultimate combo with the monochrome center cap, Pirelli P0 Corsa tires. I mean, how could you not love this? But just check out that paint. And of course, we have carbon fiber everywhere. We'll get into this hood where it is carbon fiber, but we will open that up in just a moment. Bi-xenon headlamps, which you're used to for Alfa Romeo, nice and darkened up. You do have your carbon fiber Scudetto grille here. So you can see that. All done up in carbon. Looks very nice, per usual. All right, carbon fiber active front wing. Yes, this retracts at 70 miles per hour for extra downforce. Only sedan in the world with this. So you do have that carbon fiber front splitter. All right, you have your spot for your tow hook there. You also have the extra kind of, front grille, just aggressiveness. So the cutouts that kind of make it look even more menacing, especially with the hood too. All right, you have the active feed through as well for the hood to give it that more breathable feel, but also that more aggressive look. Now, if we go around the side here, obviously we know about the Quadrifoglio badge, all right? The clover leaf, that is only for Alfa Romeo's highest performing models. You do also have breathable front fenders here, all right? That is actually active there. You can see straight through it. It actually will feed air. Now, you also have the carbon fiber mirror caps, all right? Standard on the Quadrifoglio models, and the carbon fiber side skirts as well. Going along the side just gives it an even more aggressive look. Those sharp side skirts just look so good in a carbon flavor. Now, you do have the black moldings around the windows. Now, you guys know that the sunroof is not an available option for the Quadrifoglio models, for the Giulia Quadrifoglios. And reason being is that because this is a carbon fiber roof, all right, so for rigidity options, they do not let you put a sunroof here, all right, or a panoramic roof. That's a carbon roof, it comes just like that. For the Stelvio Quadrifoglio, it is not a carbon roof, so you can get a panoramic roof. Now coming along to the rear, all right, that carbon fiber wing on the back. You guys have seen that wing plenty of times before, but this is a standard thing on the Giulia Quadrifoglio. You do have your black badging because this has the dark package, Nero Edizione pack, all right. Then right below, the quad exhaust with a very crazy and aggressive rear diffuser. This thing looks like it could just chop through anything that comes underneath it. Now, I mean, this exhaust sounds just as well as that diffuser looks. I mean, it matches the aggression, and we'll get to hear that in just a moment, but this thing just looks so good. And again, in this Misano blue with the yellow calipers, I mean, wow. Just take a look at this beauty, guys. How could you not love something like this, and how could you not want to drive something like this on the road? It's just phenomenal. I know you guys know all about this, so I'm not gonna quiz you, but just to give you a little bit of a history lesson here, twin turbo 2.9 liter V6, putting out 505 horsepower and 443 pound-feet of torque with a 0 to 60 in 3.8, 3.7 seconds, depending on the driver maybe. And you pair this with the 8-speed ZF transmission, you're looking at a top speed of 191 miles per hour with this 8-speed automatic rear-wheel drive. Now you guys know this Ferrari-derived engine is something else. Super incredible, super impressive, sounds good. We're gonna hear it in just a second. And this is just a beast of all beasts. The driving experience in this, between your 4 different driving modes, you have 4 on the Quadrifolios, all right? Advanced efficiency, natural, dynamic, and race mode, all right? We'll explain those in a moment here. And that dry carbon hood is also something that's pretty sweet, just to add a little bit of touch of flavor and, you know, weight savings on this Giulia Quadrifoglio. Love this engine, love this sound. Speaking of the sound, let's hear it. I've hopped inside of the Giulia Quadrifoglio and it's as beautiful as possible, but there's something that you can get in 2021 here, a big spec that you cannot get in 2022, and we'll talk about that in just a moment. Now, the door panel, extended leather up top, all right? So leather upper, green and white stitching, all right? You only get that green and white with the Quadrifoglio models. Carbon fiber bezel around the door handles there as well. Harman Kardon sound system speaker, all right, another speaker there, and green and white stitching over the window controls there, all right? So you have that whole setup. Then you have your Alfa Romeo insignia and the side sill plate and your aluminum pedals right there underneath. Super sharp, super aggressive pedals per usual. You also have a little cubby space here if you want to put your license and registration and insurance here. It's always a good spot. Lighting controls, start, stop, and parking sensors all on the left-hand side here. Now let's come to the creme de la creme. The steering wheel, all right. So right up front, you do have that red start-stop button only for the Quadrifoglio models, reserved specifically for the quads. And this centerpiece done in carbon fiber. Now you guys know on the regular 2.0 Giulias, it's just done in plastic. On the Lusso versions, which is the luxury version, it's done in gloss black. But for the quad versions, well, you get the carbon fiber centerpiece with the clover leaf. It just adds so much more to the steering wheel. And talking about adding more, Alcantara inserts, all right? This used to be set up differently to where if you had your hand on the outside here, you were touching Alcantara, and that was always a problem because your greasy, sweaty hands will mess this right up. So I do like it where you can still hold on to this thing, still drive it normally, but not necessarily always touch the carbon fiber, the Alcantara. So that's always a nice thing too. With your big column mounted paddle shifters as well, this is just a beautiful combo how this steering wheel is set up for the quad and how it looks. I just love it. Now you also see your driver assistance controls where there's not really a lot here because of the fact that this car does not come stacked with them, all right? So you do also have your hands-free controls and radio controls here as well. All right, we're not gonna go too deep into all of that because we've done that plenty of times before on these cars. Now, if you go look at the speedo there, if you guys can get that, all right? So you do see revs up to about 6,500 RPMs, and your speedo says 200. We know that it will do 191. I'm sure it will do much more. We've seen different videos throughout, all right, on YouTube of these cars speeding like crazy. So I'm sure it will hit that 200 mark if you give it a little push. Then you have your different menus, like you have your trip here, all right, you have your miles per gallon fuel economy there, all right, and then you also go back to your speed and everything there. You know, it's very simple for the menus. Same with the graphical user interface for the touchscreen. They changed this for 2020. So this will be the second year that you get this graphical user interface, all right, where you can actually slide, touch, pinch, all that good stuff. It's still a little bit laggy, not to my preference, but it looks a lot prettier than before. And if you don't want to use the touch screen, but you want to enjoy this graphical user interface, you just use this dial here, and this will help you out throughout scrolling along your infotainment system. Now, you do also have a home button there and a settings button, quick buttons, hot buttons for that as well. Now, this beautiful carbon fiber centerpiece, we can't forget about this while we're talking about buttons. All right, Italian flag with the aluminum bezel. All right, you have the leather wrapped shift knob. All right, 2-track system for this 8-speed ZF. Park up top, reverse, neutral, drive, and manual mode. Now you can either use this to shift, or you can use those column mounted paddle shifters and put it back in the park. Just press the top button there. All right, you do have your electric parking brake there. Your key fob holder, that's not coincidence, that's exactly where it goes. All right, and you have your volume buttons here for your radio if you want to turn it up and down, if you want to mute it, all right, if you want to shut it off, do everything there. All right, wireless charger, as you can see, my phone's sitting there charging. All right, so we got that there. And then the most important thing, right, the driving modes. Advanced efficiency, all right, that is your best fuel economy. All right, that's going to get you some good miles per gallon on the highway or in cruise control. Natural, everyday driving, all right, bumper to bumper traffic, not too much, not too little, all right. Then you have dynamic mode. That active suspension right there softens the dampers, and you see the D there. That's going to be your aggressive driving mode that you're really going to want to pass somebody on the highway, or, you know, go from 0 to 60 with a nice time. But if you're looking for ultimate performance, you're going to hold this to the right, and you're going to get race mode. All right, turns off all of your driving assistance safety settings. All right, turns off your traction, and that's the only way you can turn off your traction. Now, to keep in mind, all right, race mode, you definitely don't want to use that on cold tires, on bald tires, and you definitely want to have a little bit of room when you're, you know, bouncing the rev limiter on this thing. It is aggressive, and it can get the best of you sometimes. Now, in dynamic mode or race mode is where your valves will open up for the car. Now, if you go to dynamic mode and you go above 3,000 RPMs, then those valves will open up on the exhaust. Race mode, they're just ready to go automatically, all right? So keep that in mind as well, all right? So then we go up to the cup holders here, all right? We got the USB, all right? We got the 12 volt there, dual HVAC system, all right? Dual climate control there, all right? You have your heated seat, your heated steering wheel, and your heated passenger seat there, all right? And then your climate control hazard buttons there, all right? Extended leather all throughout on the upper dash with the green and white stitching. Your carbon fiber right here, you know, that's right above the glove box under there. And then your turbine vents for your HVAC system, which just looks so cool. Love this thing. I mean, it looks phenomenal inside. And this is just a black on black spec. I love the black. I mean, it just looks good with the Quadrifoglio setup. Now, green and white stitching, leather, and inside what you're used to, your USB 2.0, your aux, and your USB-C plug-in with your RF transmitter for your key fob, just in case that battery dies and you need to communicate with the car to start it. Now, just in case you guys were wondering for 2021 if Alfa Romeo has upgraded the backup camera and screen for that, nope. Still needs some work, all right? So for 2022, I'm gonna need Alfa Romeo to have better graphics up front here. Now, obviously, they didn't mention that in the PDFs that we went over, but that could be something that surprises us. Maybe, you know, that they just throw that in there, but this definitely needs to be a better screen or a full screen or something a little bit more helpful, I think, to move around and maneuver these beautiful cars so you do not mess them up. Now, if you guys want to know what makes this spec so special for 2021 that it won't be in 2022, let's check that out. Well, here it is, guys, the seats. So for 2022, Alfa Romeo is taking away the Alcantara inserts. So these Alcantara inserts you see on these sport seats are gone in 2022. Also, you will not be able to get the green and white stitching on the standard seats. The standard seats will be just all Nero or all black leather. No colored stitching, no Alcantara inserts. There's only two options for the 2022 Quadrifoglios. And the second option is the Sparkle Race seat, which is $3,500, and that's where you get the green and white stitching. but gone is the Rosso red stitching, gone is the Nero black stitching for these flavors, all right? So with that said, the carbon fiber seats get green and white stitching. You cannot get red stitching, you cannot get black stitching. And the standard seats are all leather with Nero stitching, all right? So these seats are something that, if you like them, you should pick up a 2021 or previous model year if you want to keep them. If not, you'll have to go with a standard all black seat, and that's it. So I wanted to let you guys know that because we've been talking about the 2022s that will be coming up pretty shortly, and they are simplifying options to sell better specs, all right? They're doing the spec to where it's a sellable spec. It's not anything too wild, too crazy that will sit on the lot. So with that said, hopefully you guys are okay with something like that. Now you're used to everything in the back seat that you get in the front seat. I mean, it's identical, guys. I mean, the same floor mats with the green and white stitching, same leather with the green and white stitching, same Alcantara. And again, you won't be able to get this next year for 2022. So take advantage if you get it here now. But it looks just as good back here. I mean, even with the turbine vents there, all right, even with the USB port, you do have one. You do have cup holders here for your center feed through, and these seats do fold down. All three seats do fold. All right, so you have that, and we'll check that out in the trunk section. But yeah, it looks really good. I mean, same on the door paneling where you have the carbon fiber, all right, the green and white stitching, the leather, the aluminum trim, all right, the speaker, everything here is set up the same way that it would be in the front. And I love when automakers cater to their rear seat passengers just as much as they do to their front. Now, fuel economy is what you'd expect. I mean, premium only, all right, so make sure you're putting premium fuel in here. But 20 combined city and highway for this twin turbo V6, 17 city and 25 highway. So again, something that you would expect from something like this. If you drive spiritedly and if you're in race mode, expect that miles per gallon percentage to go down, all right? Let's not be naive. You're gonna drive this thing, you're gonna drive it hard, and you're probably not gonna get the miles per gallon that says on the sticker. I can either pop the trunk with the key fob, or I can do it the old-fashioned way. Just put my hand under the insignia here, press it, and lift her up. Now, again, as I mentioned, all three seats do fold down. So you'll see the dividers there sectioned off. All right, you'll see the pulls there. All right, that will get your driver's side and your passenger down. Now, if you want to get your middle down, there's actually a toggle right up front to do that. But sometimes if you pull it, it might, bring both of them down. Look at the draw. It's a little hard to say. Battery's tucked away over here. So if I were to pull that, and then do that, battery right under there, all right? So you do have that tucked away on the side. I'm gonna be doing a horrible job getting this back in here, but there we go, all right? You have an extra couple things here, like a little tool bag there that has an Alfa Romeo insignia on it. All right, you have your front plate bracket here, just in case you need to mount a front plate to the car. We do not need to do that in Florida. And then underneath, not much, guys, because of the fact that, there's no spare tire for this, all right? Pirelli P0 Corsa tires, they're run flats. You do have your tow hook there. You have your tire inflate kit there as well, and a couple extra tools, all right? But that's about it, all right? So nothing crazy to talk about back here, but just wanted to show you guys for anybody who didn't know. All right, now let's talk about the price and the sticker. I'm gonna leave it out here on the window, all right? So I don't tarnish this perfect Giulia Quadrifoglio. So right here, you'll see the base price is $75,250 for the 2021 Alfa Romeo Giulia Quadrifoglio rear-wheel drive. Now, something to bring up because it's a little different for the 2022 model year. If I'm not mistaken, the 2022 model year starts off at $78,650. So it's a little bit more expensive for the 2022 base before even options are added, all right? $75,250 for the base 2021 and $78,650 for the base 2022. So keep that in mind, guys. And then once we go down to the options and we get past all that and the destination charge, you're looking at $80,305, all right? So that's after that $1,595 destination charge. Now you do get 4 years, 50,000 miles for your basic warranty, powertrain, 4 years, 50,000 miles, and roadside assistance where certain restrictions will apply. All right, so with that said, let's look at our optional equipment because there's not a ton. I mean, the Giulia Quadrifolios come pretty optioned out, but there are some things you can add. So, Misano Blue exterior paint color, $660 for 2021. All right, your carbon package, $1,500 for the carbon fiber here. That's the leather wrapped shift knob there. You also have the carbon fiber exterior mirrors, the carbon fiber V Scudetto grille, the dark midone badging, all right, the Quadrifoglio carbon fiber steering wheel, and the seats with the green and white stitching with the active aero carbon fiber front splitter. That's all in that pack. Now you also have the wireless charging pad at $300, and that also comes with the XM radio. Now, the 19-inch 5-hole dark wheels, $500 for that option, and the yellow calipers, $500 as well. All right, so those are your options that add on to the Giulia Quadrifoglio to make it that $80,000 price. Now, I'm gonna scroll over the standard equipment, but I'm not gonna say all of this, especially because we are sitting here and we're looking at it on the glass, so it might be hard for me to read, let alone say all of it right. So I wanna make sure you guys just see it. And if you need to pause the video or slow it down or anything there to see, and let me make sure I'm focused, see anything here, then do so for sure. But that is your standard equipment, and I'll scroll down here again just to make sure you guys can see it all. But I mean, carbon fiber drive shaft, all right, Apple CarPlay and Android Auto standard. I mean, stuff like the active suspension, the DNA drive modes, all that stuff is very unique and very specific to the Quadrifoglio, so definitely keep that in mind. But after all is said and done, what do you guys think about the price? Because it's a lot cheaper for a base price on a 2021 than it is for a 2022. If you guys did enjoy this video today, make sure you give it a big thumbs up. Giving the video a like will help get it up in the rankings. More people can see it, and we can have a bigger discussion on the 2021 Alfa Romeo Giulia Quadrifoglio, a spec you cannot get for the 2022 model. If you guys want to help further support the channel, always check the links down below. I have a one-time link donation for my PayPal, my Cash App, and my Venmo, just in case you guys want to donate $1 or $2 to the channel. I appreciate the love and support as always. You can also check out the Ron's Rise merch, just in case you want to get tank tops, t-shirts, stickers, everything Ron's Rise. I'm also on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. See everything I'm posting, Ferrari, Maserati, and Alfa Romeo. It doesn't always make it here to the channel. And make sure you guys subscribe to the channel, but click that notification bell so you won't miss one video. And with that said, you guys be blessed, have a great day, and we will talk to you guys in the next Ron's Rise video. Peace.